Hi everyone, it's Leanne. How you going? I did say I was going to do this tea chest and I was going to do it in some sponging that looked a little bit like faux leather. So I have started it. That's the bottom. I've taken all the brass parts off, all the hardware. That's what's inside for your tea chest. Put your tea and coffee and sugar and stuff in. And I started on a big one. And I'll show you that went halfway through, and that I'm halfway through, and I'll show you in the next video what it looks like. And this one we're going to attempt to do now. So I'm going to take the lid off and I'm going to continue on with my bottom. I'll just see if I can fit that on something so it doesn't fall. That mightn't be the best one. This might be okay. Nope, not that either. Let me see what I can use. I think I'll just set it on this ball of string. There we go. Right, I'm going to get a bit closer and I'm going to use some sponge. And what I'm using is burnt umber. I'm using another raw umber. And I'm using some black satin. And I'm using this Deco Art Americana satin. It's called Reborn or Red Barn. Sorry, my eyes are really bad tonight. Red Barn. I'm using that one. And all I'm going to use is some sponges that I have. And I'm also going to use burnt sienna. Now, I haven't got much of it left. I've cut it in half to get the last bits out of it. But we're going to start with the raw umber. First of all, I'm going to turn it on its side. And all we're going to do is sponge that on. And I forgot to do something. I just noticed. I forgot to put some tape there. So I will be back. I am going to put this tape on the very edge. So that's what I'm going to do, just to protect it. I'm a bit off camera, but I'll be back on in a sec. I'm just trying to really line this up. Okay. Just going to line the edges up like that. Got some in my mouth then. One more. Just here on the edge. I'll just get some scissors because I will cut that away. Oops, got a bit stuck on that one. Right, there we go. So I've got some tape on that now. Right, let's begin again. Let's use that raw umber. And let's just sponge that on. How's everyone been? I've been extremely busy myself. Lots and lots of things happen. And I'm just doing the top. I'll show you in a sec. What have I been doing? Well, I go away every weekend with my husband to do some renovations on our old house. So I'm always away every weekend. So I'm never around, usually. Okay, that was the raw umber. Now I'm going to leave that there. Now I'm going to use the burnt umber, and I'm going to do, let me see, this side. I'm just going to go over the top, sponge it on with the spasmodically. One's darker than the other because one's raw and one's burnt. There we go. I think that would be fine. Let's have a look at the side one. Right. Just that and that. Rightio, we'll put that sponge down. Now I think we will put the burnt sienna, which is a very light coloured thing, colour paint, and I'm going to try and put that a little bit like that, and I'll do the other side as well, like that. Right, so I'll put the sponge just there. Now I'm going to probably blow away this, so I will be back shortly. Okay, I'm back. Let's use some black. I'm just going to use a tiny bit, a tiny bit everywhere. Right, and that's what that looks like. It's a bit hard to see, and I'll put a tiny bit of black on the edge line as well. I need a bit more. Right, now I am going to use this brush, and I'm going to use a bit of the pink. Now we don't want much pink, so I'm just going to put a tiny bit on this plate over here because I really don't want that much on. So I'm going to get a tiny bit, and I'm just going to put it now and again. And the trick is to sponge that down quite a few times. Like, what do I mean by that? Stay on it. Like, put some down and then spread it out. Stay on it. So what does that look like? A bit hard to see, isn't it? But it's there. Now we'll do this bit here. This end bit. Just going to take a bit of the pink, not much, and then just a tiny bit around the place. Stay there and sponge it on so it spreads out, that it blends in. That's a good word, blend in. Right, that's not too bad. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now we will continue on to see how we've done that. See that? You can see that at 3 angles, can't you? Right, I'm going to do the other two, which is this side here and this side here and here. And I will be right back to show you the finished product. Okay, see you soon. Okay, we're back, and I've done all the sides. Now, I'm just going to move that light a little bit. Let's pull off our tape. Now, this is all dry. And the edges look pretty clean to me. That's pretty good. But there is the final coat. I'm just seeing what that is. Right. I think what we can do is sponge that white bit out. Because there's a tiny white strip there. We can sponge that out. It's not too bad. Let's have a look at this side. Tiny bit more here. And a tiny bit here. There we go. And last, there's a tiny bit here. Yep, and that's it. Okay. Okay, so I've got a little bit of paint on me, not much. It'll come off. Right, so there is our box all done. Now all I'm going to do now is we'll do the top exactly the same way, and I'm going to Mod Podge a luster on it, and I think I can start that on the bottom. Just let me look at my brush, see if it's dry. Alright, that's not too bad. I'm going to use this sponge, and I'm going to just Mod Podge it. Now I really should use a bigger brush, and I think I will. Let me see if I've got one. No, I haven't. Okay, so I'll pour this on, and I'll try and spread it out quickly. So this is all you do, is you put, to protect the paint finish, which is like a faux leather, you just put this Mod Podge on. And that's all I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to paint out the streaks because my foam brush is very tiny. Okay, we'll let that dry, and we will be back to see what it looks like. Right, there it is. I've got the Mod Podge on, and it's practically dry, but not fully. Now, in the next video, I'm going to do the top and show you how to put it back together, and then we're going to put some coffee and satchis in it. And this is going to be a present for my son's housewarming. He's buying his first house, and I'm making this for him. It's sort of a faux leather look-alike. I'm trying to get that, give that, what do you call it, impression, and it's turning out to be okay, I think. So there we go. Inside I'm going to leave plain. It's fiddly. I normally spray paint inside, and on the big one that I've got, I'll show you how I spray painted that inside and how nicely it's done. And so until I see you in the next video, bye for now. Take care, everyone.